Is your agency capabilities deck taking forever to pull together? Maybe you feel like you're spending more time digging through folders and designing slides and actually pitching your agency. Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the top 3 tools I use to streamline my capabilities deck design process. My name is Lindsay Christian, and I own a 6-figure agency dedicated exclusively to creating capabilities decks. I've designed hundreds of decks in my life. So whether you're looking to DIY your deck from scratch or just streamline the process so that you can make updates a lot faster down the line, these 3 tools have been a game changer for me when it comes to designing capabilities decks. So let's start with the biggest time suck of all, finding assets. A great capabilities deck needs great content, but if your photos, videos, testimonials, and case studies are spread out across a ton of different platforms, you're already losing time. So that's when I turn to a tool, one of my favorite tools to use. It's called Playbook. Think of it as like Pinterest meets Dropbox. It turns your chaotic media library into a searchable visual gallery. There are a ton of features that Playbook has, but one of my favorite features is the view all assets feature. So for example, if you were using a tool like Google Drive, you might have uploaded assets like this. So you'll see the master folder here with some subfolders, and then you would click in to those to be able to see the assets that you uploaded. And if you wanted to kind of go back and look at the other folder, you would click here and be able to see the assets. So again, this is like a thumbnail view. It's not terrible, but again, you're not seeing the full image and you're having to kind of click in and out of folders as needed. So using Playbook, I just want to kind of show you the difference and some of the cool features that it has. One of my favorite features is this see all assets feature. So this essentially allows you to see all of the assets, including any kind of nested folders in one scrolling view. So you can see everything you have. You can see the full image, top to bottom, corner to corner. You can compare images to each other. And again, you're not having to click out, go into different folders to kind of see nested folders. You can also rate, review, leave feedback, comments on the different assets. So it's a great tool to just kind of use to see your entire creative catalog, to curate images. And that's super important when you're talking about picking the best assets for your deck. Another cool feature that I love is when you upload a ton of assets at one time, it will remove or stack any duplicates so that you're not looking at like 10 of the same image. If the file name is the same, it will stack those. So that's just another cool feature that keeps your content catalog clean and allows you to more easily, again, go through it, curate it, and pick the best asset. Another feature I absolutely love is the ability to downsize the asset right here in the platform. So as you can see, here's the file size in pixels for this image. But let's say I'm creating my deck and I don't want to bring in these huge photos every time I bring a photo into the deck. It allows you to click here and like size down the image. So for example, this just reduced the size to 950 by 633. And then I can copy the image here, or I can, download as a JPEG. But again, right here from the platform, you're able to downsize these images. And it just makes it easier as far as like not having to download it, open it in another tool, resize it, etc. Everything is right here at your fingertips and it's super easy to use. So I'm not even doing Playbook justice. It has tons of amazing features, app integrations, all kinds of cool different things you can do. If you want to try it out, check the link down below in the description. It is an affiliate link, but again, this is one of my favorite tools in my tech stack, and I highly suggest you use it, for your creative catalog. We recommend all of our agencies use it, and whenever we design a deck for one of our clients, we ingest all of their content into Playbook, and essentially this serves as a hub for all of the different content we're going to then kind of browse and curate as we create their deck. So this is a really great one to use. And it's usually the first step. The first thing I do whenever I'm creating a deck, you want to bring in all the content so you can kind of see what you're working with. And this is just a great way to see everything and view everything in one place. You can really get a feel for the content catalog that you're going to be working with. So once you have the visuals together, it's time to write the actual copy for your deck. And that's when I like to use the tried and tested Google Docs. I know this one is simple and seems kind of obvious, but when you're really pulling together that copy for your capabilities deck, you just want a simple, distraction-free writing environment. And that's why I love Google Docs. It has team sharing capabilities. If you're working with a team, like I said, it's cloud-based. You're not going to lose any of your work. And it just gives you a streamlined document to write out page by page all of the copy that's going to go into your deck. You can track changes, you can make comments, you can use AI to help you. But again, this is a simple tool that really covers that step 2 in our process of just drafting a clean, non-designed version of the deck, word for word, slide by slide. So you're able to really make sure that the copy alone stands on its own and is really strong enough, and is optimized in terms of pitching your agency and selling your value. And now for the design phase. And I know this is where tons of people open up PowerPoint and begin to regret their life decisions. But trust me, I've designed hundreds of decks. There is a better way. My number one tool for deck design is pitch.com. So with pitch.com, there are tons of features. I can't get into all of them, but I want to highlight a few that I think really stand out when it comes to capabilities decks and will really help you set your agency apart from a lot of the other decks that your prospects are going to be seeing. So number one, you're able to embed videos right in the deck. So you're not having to link out, all those janky links that are going to YouTube or Instagram or wherever you're housing decks online. You can get rid of those and upload video directly to your deck. So it plays right there in the platform and prospects aren't having to click out to see, other links or, wait for things to load, etc. Another feature that really puts Pitch above the rest is collaboration ability with your team. They can leave comments directly on slides. You can set slide status. So, to do, done, pending, etc. So that you can kind of look at your deck from a bird's eye view, see how much is done, see what needs to be addressed. So some of those features, you could essentially do manually with other tools, but in Pitch, they make it super easy, super streamlined. Again, commenting per slide is a big one. That is really streamlined the back and forth as far as feedback with my internal team or feedback with clients whose decks I'm working on. It just makes the entire process of creating the deck and updating the deck a lot faster. Another great feature of Pitch is easy link sharing. So no more version control, no more sharing fonts, no more trying to navigate huge file sizes. They allow you to just create simple links. I'll talk about analytics tracking next, but simple links that you can just share with your prospect. They click it, the deck opens, they can see everything they need to right there in the platform. So it just makes that communication and sharing with the client and with other team members a lot easier. And finally, another big win for Pitch is analytics tracking. So you can see who's opening your deck, what pages they're spending the most time on, et cetera. And that just allows you to understand more about the behavior of the prospect on the other end. Maybe they're spending a ton of time on one slide that has a particular case study. So now you know kind of what's resonating with that prospect. Maybe you do other case studies like that one, or maybe you bring that one earlier in the deck to optimize the pitch and get them interested earlier. So again, there are tons of features with Pitch that I'm not talking about in this video. They make updates all the time, but these are some of the features that I think are really important when it comes to capabilities decks and just sharing your agency in the most seamless, professional way that gets prospects on the other end excited to look at your deck, excited to work with your deck, and it will really set you apart from other agencies that, for example, maybe you're still sharing static PDFs or even worse, large files like PowerPoint files where you're having to install fonts, etc. So just something to really streamline the pitch deck creation process. And a lot of our clients really use Pitch as a fresh new hub for all of their decks agency-wide. So it's just something to think about. It makes duplicating decks easy. It makes, implementing brand guidelines across multiple decks easy. So something to think about, but pitch.com, I had to mention it. It's one of my favorite tools in the tech stack, and it's where I prefer to design all of the decks for both my agency and for my clients. So there you have it. And these tools don't just save you time. If you use them together, you're going to have a process and a flow for really creating the most streamlined pitch for your agency. So whether you're able to curate the best content because you're able to see it all in one view in Playbook, or whether you're sharing an easy to open link with a prospect that then makes that prospect more inclined to open your deck and look at it, all of these tools work together to make sure that you're pitching your agency in the most professional and streamlined way. And they'll definitely help you set yourself apart from other agencies who are pitching those same prospects. So if you're tired of scattered files and half-baked slides, I highly recommend you adding these 3 tools to your capabilities deck design tech stack. And if you want help or guidance in terms of what to put in your capabilities deck, check out this video. In it, I walk you through slide by slide what to include on each page so you know what to keep and what to cut.